Good morning, Bermuda. On behalf of the Bermuda Football Association and President Larry Mustardin, we are pleased to announce that Bermuda will play the England C team on June the 4th at the National Sports Centre at 7:30 p.m. This match is a significant one, as it is one of the first times that an England official team, has visited the island to play our national association. The England C team, led by Director of Football Paul Flurclough of Barnet, will compete against our national team, and we will have many overseas international players from Bermuda participating. Some of those players that will be here with us will be Dale Eve of Stoke City FC, Reggie Lamb of Toronto FC, Jonte Smith of Crawley Town, and Tareem Mendes of Antigua Barracudas. They will also be supported by some of our UK non-league team members, such as Antoine Russell, John Simmons, and Dante Lavrock. We also wish to inform the public that our star or elite athlete, Mr. Nicky Wells, will be unavailable for the match due to other obligations, but he will be on island, and he will be attending the match. And at the halftime, we'll be looking to recognize him for his efforts with Bradford City, for being an outstanding player this season, and also for being a great international ambassador for Bermuda. We also wish to note that His Excellency, Mr. Ferguson, the Governor of Bermuda, will host the national team at Government House along with the England C team, and he will afford them the opportunity to engage with him and offer his welcome to the England C team and the support to the Bermuda national team. At this time, we would like to open up any questions from the media. So anytime we have a national team coming from overseas to the island, it's an opportunity for our players who do not compete internationally as a team as much as we could or should, to gauge themselves against opposition. Having gone online, I was quite surprised that the England C team is not just a team put together as non-league pros, but they're actually playing U23 teams from all over the world. They've played against Russia, Italy. They lost 1-0 narrowly to Turkey last month or in February. So they're a team of non-league players, but they are competing against elite players from around the world. Because if you're an under-23 player in a national team from Italy, Russia, Belgium, or Turkey, you are actually on the fringes of making your national team and playing in FIFA under-20, under-23 World Cups. You are a player of some type of ability and standard. So for our players, some of them are here in the room with us, to compete against their levels, for them as a player to gauge how good you are, for those in a professional environment to add that onto their resume, and for those players that are still looking to leave our shores to add that to their profile as well, that they competed against some of the quality players from overseas. For our players, opportunity for our coaching staff, led by Mr. Andrew Bascom and Dennis Brown, to see a wide array of players compete at a higher level than a training pool in Bermuda. The Island Games is coming up. It's often an opportunity for many players to be involved, and it's also an opportunity for those overseas players to come back. Being overseas, you are playing at a higher level, but doesn't give you automatic entry into a team. So they've had to come back, showcase their skills during the training sessions, and also shows those players that are here to see what those players are doing overseas and how they can actually try to reach their standards. I think this is one of the strongest teams we've had in quite a number of years. Just the fact that there are about 7 players overseas, not forgetting that the team is being led by Mr. John Barry Newsom, the captain, who's also a former semi-pro. We have Damon Ming, who actually played for Barnet, being led by Mr. Paul Flurclough, who's the director for the England C team. And then we also had Freddie Hall, who just recently was at Toronto FC. So, out of a squad of 18, there are probably 11 players that have played pro or are playing pro. So, that's a very high level, including those who have just recently returned from overseas as well, from maybe college or university. And we have players such as Terrell Burgess, who's had stint overseas as well. So out of a squad of 18, it's a very high talent and level. And to have about 8 or 9 that are currently actually playing pro in some format only bodes well for Bermuda. I think it's the future for Bermuda. For us who compete internationally, it's probably going to be 75% of players overseas and 25% playing in the domestic league. And it's no different from anywhere else in the Caribbean. You just don't have that talent level or that high intensity level games on a national standard weekly. Normally, there's a trend that we do everything posthumous. Someone passes away and we want to acknowledge them, or they're out of the game for 50 years. We're trying to follow a new trend and say, you've done something now, let's recognize you now. There are quite a number of young individuals in Bermuda that look up to Nicky, both here, but also in Bradford internationally. So let's give him the opportunity when he's on island, because we never know when he's actually going to be back in a professional environment. Let's recognize him. So it's more a citation that will be coming from the association, recognizing him for being an outstanding individual, for putting Bermuda on the map or back on the map currently in football, and also for just creating history for Bermuda.
You've played abroad, playing locally and then trying to raise your game back up to an international standard. How difficult is it for someone like you?
Personally, well, the biggest thing would be fitness. The fitness to me from playing at a once professional level to international level, and then coming back home and playing at an amateur level. The fitness level is obviously key. When you're a professional, you're training every day, and when you're an amateur, you have a 9 to 5, and then you have a family, obviously, whatever, and then you play on every Sunday. And you train 2 days a week. So I think the fitness level would definitely be that.
And how have you adjusted to that? And coming from school, professional, international, now amateur, how have you adjusted? And then what do you think your biggest challenge will be on Tuesday?
Well, using all those things that you said, aid myself in experience. I still keep myself in pretty decent shape. I train with the national team on our allotted training days, and try to do my extras on my own, beach running or whatever really interests me, golf course running, that type of stuff. But going into Tuesday, it's just another game. I played a lot of football. These guys, we all have. We played a lot of football, so it's just another game for us to play, and we play in front of our home crowd. And who doesn't want to play in National Stadium?
I'm recently in the UK playing. How do you think that experience of this last few months will help you on Tuesday?
Well, if I was to play on Tuesday, I would know what to expect really from playing in non-league, and how the physical level is, and the fitness level, and the mental level. So it's nothing that I'm not used to now, but I know what's coming our way.
Now, you've seen some of the names of the players you'll be playing against. Do you remember them from some of your matches?
Just one player, because other players are not in my league, but it's just one player that has played against Ilkeston, but I'm not too familiar with him at the time.
A lot of football, and you spent time at Crawley and then were loaned out, and you had a remarkable time with Met Police. What was your experience like with the Met Police and then going back to Crawley?
With Met Police, I can honestly say it was probably one of my better loan spells. I was enjoying my football, I was scoring goals, everything was going well. Obviously I played non-league, played against a few of the players coming tomorrow, but it's all been good. Going back to Crawley, it was nice because I was back with the players that I had started with, back competing with them for places in this team, and that was like basically what I wanted to do. I wanted to get back to Crawley so I could fight for my place, hopefully get involved as soon as possible.
Now, when you go back, what do you think your biggest challenge will be in getting in that team?
I think my biggest challenge will be pre-season. I'll be given a chance in pre-season to show the coach what I can do, play games, hopefully score goals. If I do well in pre-season, I don't see any reason why not.
All right. And what's your prediction for Tuesday night?
It's definitely going to be a close game. They're going to be strong and physical, and hopefully all of the players are up for it. I think we can edge it though. Well, it's my first time representing my country. It's always a big deal for anyone. An international debut. It's always going to be a big game. I'm up for it. I know all the players are up for it because it's a chance for them to show everyone on the island as well as people not on the island how good they actually are.